Hi guys, it's Kristen. I'm back again. So today's topics are Tyrese, Wendy Williams, the Kennesaw State University Cheerleaders, and Jazzy Rowe. So let's get started. I'm hoping to make it quick. So I would like to start with Tyrese. Have you all seen his videos that he's been posting on Instagram and just his posts from the last couple of weeks? He's been making an ass out of himself, a fool out of himself, going at The Rock. Just because The Rock wants to take advantage of business opportunities, which Tyrese, if they actually were presented to him, should have taken advantage of himself. Um, the Rock does not owe you participation in every movie on the time frame that you wanted. That's for sure. Um, and the consistent coming at somebody who is pretty unbothered and unfazed by you is a problem. But we're going to table that discussion for another day or maybe later. So, what I also want to discuss about Tyrese, his videos that he posted today. Tyrese, if you don't know, is currently in the midst of a custody case with his ex-wife over his daughter Shayla. He's accused of physically abusing her. From what I've read, he apparently spanked her hard enough that she couldn't sit down for 3 or 4 days. Um, Disciplinary things, that's a topic for another video. But I will say that I believe that parents have the right to discipline their children, but I believe physical um, disciplinary action should be a last resort. Um, Verbal things should be the first cause of action, but even still, when you have physical um, discipline actions going on, it should never end up or go that far. Um, so the case is valid. There's restraining orders, and apparently he was possibly abusive to his ex-wife. I'm not sure about those allegations, so I'll just leave that at that. So he posted this video begging for his daughter, screaming about how he is paying $13,000 a month for child support. What more do you want from me, Norma? His ex-wife. Um, he, I think in this video, he blames The Rock again, but I know in a separate video he definitely does, and we'll get to that one in a second. If you watch the video, it's available on TMZ, and Twitter is always a handy thing. It's currently a trending topic. For me, I watched it, and I usually love seeing Tyrese dragged because he drags others, and he can be misogynistic. But watching that video as a person who suffers from mental health issues sometimes, well, all the time, um, I can recognize that that man, his mental state is not where it should be. So with that, um, I won't drag him. And I think that we should, cease. I'm not saying that you'd have sympathy per se, but when someone is visibly having like mental health things going on, you know, um, just bow out of the jokes. Um, you should watch it if you haven't already. He's clearly going through some things. The second video, he goes on to blame The Rock for everything, and he just sounds out of it. He makes no logical sense in either of his videos, but especially that one, he makes no sense, and it's disturbing and it's scary. And Kid Fury, he refuses to talk about it. He himself has said that it is scary, so I don't expect to hear that on the read. So for me, it was just like he blames his custody case on The Rock, which clearly is a sign of illogical thinking, which could be an issue. And for me, it's like it was scary when he said, "Well, my kid doesn't matter, so your daughters don't matter." That was weird and scary. So, what are your thoughts? I love to hear in the comments. Wendy Williams. Live TV, she fainted. She claims it was overheating. I do not believe that for a second. I believe she either had a mini stroke or some other serious medical emergency. I myself overheated at a Power Fest event in Augusta, where I'm from, and everything got dark for me. I had to sit down. I was nauseous. Everything was dark, and it was just a lot. But I never reacted the way she does. And yes, everybody reacts in different ways, but my dear, that one isn't normal. Something was definitely wrong, and I do not think that she should have pushed through with the show, and that she should be ignoring, which could possibly be a serious health issue. Because I myself, when I overheated, for sure, I took my behind home and I rested. And I think that's what she should have done. So hopefully she gets it checked, and everything goes well. Moving on to the KSU cheerleaders. So KSU, Kennesaw State University, which is in Georgia. Typically northern Georgia is about 30 miles outside of Atlanta. So the cheerleaders, they kneeled in protest. And I want to point out, and this is probably the last time and the only time that I will address what the kneeling protests are about, because I refuse to argue with those who do not want to be educated, to those who do not want to know what it's truly about. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with ignorance. I can let you sit, stew, bathe in it, milk in it, live your life. You'll get what's coming. The protests are not about the flag. They are not about the anthem. They are about police brutality, which is a very real issue in America. They are about racism, which is a very big problem in America that is daily, hourly seen and experienced. Okay? They are kneeling because what the anthem supposedly represents, they want it to actually represent that. And they're not. They are pointing out the imperfections of America. And if you want to make America great again, how about we address these imperfections that are very real and not put them to the side or try to discredit them? So that's what it's about. The KSU cheerleaders, they knelt. They got a huge outcry. The Cobb County Sheriff expressed his outrage over it, and him and a state rep dragged the president into a meeting, and they basically forced him to do something about the situation. The cops were harassing the KSU cheerleaders who are black at their homes. They just been subject to a lot of things they should not have, because they have the right to protest. That is one of the most basic rights that we have. Freedom of expression, which people love to use when they're being hateful or ignorant, but not when it's actually correct. So they were absolutely right, and the sheriff should not have stepped in. Any personal feelings he had should have stayed that personal, because they were expressing their freedom of speech. They were protesting very real issues that need to be addressed. Harassing students at their homes, not good. And there's plenty more that's going on. You can check it out on sports.yahoo.com. You can do a quick Twitter search, Google search, whatever is made national news, and it is an important thing that's going on. So I stand with them, and I will forever be outspoken about it. So I stand with you, and I'm proud of you girls, and keep doing what you do. There's been other protests on the campus in support of these young women, and it's amazing. Moving on to the final topic of the day, Jazzy Rowe is a student at University of Hartford. Her white roommate, I believe her name is Brianna, has basically been harassing her because of her race, of her roommate being black. She shoved the roommate's toothpaste up her rectum several times, so her black roommate, was forced to brush her teeth with an rubbed, filled toothbrush. She used her old tampons and rubbed the old period blood all over the girl's book bag, which is unhealthy, unsanitary, and can pose health risks, so that's dangerous. She also, what else did she do? She did several things to the girl. She also would let moldy foods stow away in the refrigerator and then put it in the girl's face cream and face moisturizer. which again poses health risks and is unsanitary. The University of Hartford has moved the black girl to a new room, and the white girl in response said that she got rid of Jamaican Barbie, which tells you how she really feels. But because she left her own trail of evidence exposing what she did her own self, she has actually been expelled from the university, and she has been arrested and charged. And I believe she is facing a felony charge, so that's good. That is the justice. That's what we want. This is why we kneel. So I want to apply University of Hartford. So I'm going to be starting a podcast soon. Just be on the lookout for it. And I will start more natural hair dialogues. So thank you for listening.